You work 50 hours a week, have family responsibilities, social commitments, and barely enough time to sleep. The last thing you need is another complicated health routine that requires perfect timing and ideal conditions. But here's what most people don't realize: fasting can actually make your busy life easier, not harder. I'm about to show you how to integrate fasting into a real world schedule without disrupting your productivity, energy, or relationships. The strategies I'm sharing work for executives, shift workers, parents, and anyone whose life doesn't follow a perfect wellness Instagram schedule. The biggest myth about fasting is that it requires extensive planning and perfect conditions. The truth is, once you understand how to align fasting with your natural rhythms and work schedule, it becomes the simplest part of your day. Let's start with the foundation, the overnight fast that you're already doing. Every night when you sleep, you're fasting for 7 to 9 hours without even thinking about it. The easiest way to start fasting is simply to extend this natural period slightly. Here's your first busy person hack: push breakfast back by 2 hours. If you normally eat at 7 a.m., start eating at 9 a.m. You've just created a 14-hour fasting window with almost zero effort. No meal prep, no complicated timing, just a slight schedule adjustment. For most busy people, the 16 to 8 method works perfectly with a professional schedule. Stop eating at 8 p.m., skip breakfast, and have your first meal at noon. This gives you a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window that aligns with most work schedules. The beauty of this timing is that you're fasting during the hours when you're least likely to be eating anyway: late evening and early morning. Your work productivity actually improves during the morning fasting hours because you're not experiencing post breakfast energy crashes. But what if your schedule is unpredictable? Shift workers, people who travel frequently, or those with irregular hours need a more flexible approach. The key is to focus on fasting duration rather than specific times. The flexible fasting method works like this: aim for a certain number of fasting hours within each 24-hour period, regardless of when they occur. If you're working a late shift, start your fasting window after your last meal and maintain it for 16 hours, even if that means eating your first meal at an unconventional time. Hydration becomes crucial for busy people because you're often moving between different environments, stress levels, and physical demands. The simple hydration protocol that works for any schedule is this: start your day with 16 to 20 ounces of water, carry a water bottle, and drink 8 ounces every hour you're awake. Here's the busy person's meal prep strategy that makes fasting sustainable. Instead of preparing elaborate meals, focus on simple, nutrient dense options for your eating windows. When you do eat, make those calories count with foods that provide sustained energy. Prepare large batches of simple foods on weekends. Cut vegetables, cook proteins, make smoothie ingredients ready to blend. The goal isn't gourmet meals, it's convenient nutrition that fuels your busy life without requiring daily preparation time. The office environment presents unique challenges for fasting. Colleagues eating at their desks, lunch meetings, office snacks, and social pressure to eat can all disrupt your fasting schedule. Here's how to handle each situation professionally. For lunch meetings during your fasting window, arrive early and let the host know you'll just have water or tea. Most people are understanding when you simply say you're not eating at the moment. Focus the conversation on business rather than making a big deal about your fasting choice. Office snacks and break room temptations become much easier to resist when you have a clear fasting schedule. Instead of relying on willpower, you have a system. I don't eat between noon and 8 p.m. is a clear boundary that removes decision fatigue. The coffee question comes up constantly for busy people. Black coffee, plain tea, and water don't break your fast and can actually enhance the fasting benefits. Avoid adding cream, sugar, or artificial sweeteners, which trigger insulin responses and interrupt the fasting state. Energy management during busy fasting days requires understanding how your energy patterns change. Most people experience an energy dip around hour 12 to 16 of fasting, followed by increased mental clarity and stable energy. Plan demanding tasks for your high energy fasting hours, typically mid morning. Travel fasting is actually easier than eating while traveling. Airplane food is expensive and low quality. Airport restaurants are overpriced and time consuming. When you're fasting, you avoid these hassles entirely while maintaining your health routine despite schedule disruptions. The key to travel fasting is maintaining your hydration and electrolyte balance. Carry electrolyte supplements or sea salt packets to add to water. This prevents the dehydration and fatigue that often accompany travel, regardless of your eating schedule. Weekend fasting strategies can be different from weekday approaches because your schedule and stress levels change. Some busy people prefer longer fasting windows on weekends when they have more control over their environment and activities. Others find weekends more challenging for fasting because of social activities, family meals, and different routines. The solution is to have both weekday and weekend fasting approaches, adjusting your strategy based on your life demands. Exercise timing becomes important when you're fitting workouts into a busy schedule along with fasting. The most efficient approach is morning workouts during your fasting window. You'll burn more stored fat, have more stable energy throughout the day, and avoid the scheduling challenges of post meal workouts. If morning workouts aren't possible, light exercise during fasting windows is fine, but save intense training for your eating periods when you have adequate fuel for recovery. The social aspect of fasting with a busy schedule requires some navigation skills. Business dinners, family gatherings, and social events often revolve around food. The key is flexibility without abandoning your overall fasting routine. For occasional social eating outside your normal window, adjust your fasting schedule for that day. If you have a business dinner at 7 p.m. but normally stop eating at 6 p.m., shift your entire eating window later that day. Maintain the same fasting duration with different timing. The productivity benefits of fasting often surprise busy people. Stable energy without post meal crashes, improved mental clarity during fasting hours, reduced time spent on meal planning and eating, and better sleep quality from not eating late at night all contribute to improved work performance. Many successful entrepreneurs and executives use fasting as a productivity tool, not just a health practice. The mental clarity and sustained energy help them make better decisions and maintain focus during demanding work periods. The most important principle for busy people is sustainability over perfection. A fasting routine that works 80% of the time is infinitely better than a perfect routine that you can only maintain 20% of the time. Start with small changes that fit your current schedule, then gradually extend your fasting windows as they become natural parts of your routine. Your busy life doesn't have to prevent you from accessing the benefits of fasting. It just requires a strategic approach that works with your reality, not against it.